is and what's good, y'all? Welcome back to 280 Plus, the social media podcast where I take the conversations off the timeline and go beyond the tweets. I'm your host, Lowe's Def, and as y'all see here, to this week we're gonna go solo. You know what I'm saying? Kind of recording a little bit later in the week than I'd like. I had a busy weekend. There was an event that I was a part of. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. Just give some shout outs and stuff like that. But I'm just happy, man, that the equinox is here, man. You know what I'm saying? Equinox, you know what I mean? Springtime is here, man. My birthday passed a couple weeks ago. And this is my season, man. This is my favorite time. This is one of my favorite times of the year. Just like I like the start of the warmth, you know what I mean? Because you know how it gets in the summertime. It's like muggy and miserable a little bit. This is like really good weather, you know what I mean? And this is like, I feel like for the first time in a while, we're getting spring when we're supposed to get spring. Because there's been years where it snowed in April, you know what I mean? In the last couple of years, maybe not last year because we didn't get that much snow last year, but like in the years prior. But there were some cold days, I think, last year in April, and I think we're at some really good temperatures. A little chilly today when I'm recording, but overall, I think it's really good, really nice. And I'm white teeing it up again. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go with the white tee. It's all good. I don't care, you know what I mean? But this that time, man, you know what I mean? I just wanted to give a couple shout outs though, man. I want to shout out to a couple different people, some brands. Shout out to Favored by God, man. That's my dog, man. His brand, if y'all seen that hat that I had on last week, that blue, red, and white hat, that was one of his hats. And then he just gave, for my birthday, my man's gave me like this dope pair of pants, whatever. So go check him out on Instagram, man. Favored by God, and go see what he got in store. He has some pieces in ESO Arts right now, SO Arts, downtown Lancaster, which that's a really dope art gallery they got in the city of Lancaster. And actually, I need to really tap in with some of them people over there, and we need to run an episode with them, man. So I've been there one time, and it was before the grand opening of the art gallery. It was during the poetry slam. Shout out to Dominic Jordan for that, and that invite, because that was like a low key event, like invite only. But yeah, man, we got it done. What else? Yeah, I'm gonna shout out to, and actually I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna shout out to Jabbar Harris, man. And this past weekend, he had his first annual Fresh Bar Sports Show Live. It was a dope concept, man. Turnout was what it was. But yeah, man, I see the vision. I see, he had some live performances. He had one of his homies, Nassan J. He did a poem. Jody Blow had a performance. Kaz Breeze had a performance, and then it was a panel. Man, it was Jabbar, it was Fatima Maitland, Coco Chantel, and then myself. And we, and he did a real good job of like putting all the topics together, man. Like if he was prepared. Like he had a set list prepared. He had the itinerary prepared. I was ready to eat before the show, because that's why I came early, because he told me to come early to eat. But the food was good. I ended up getting they gave me a to-go platter as well, and I ate that the next day. But yeah, man, the fish was good. Green beans, sweet potatoes, cornbread. You know what I'm saying? Can't go wrong with a good soul food meal. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, he held it down. Shout out to Dude Jones, man, for doing some live coverage of that event. I think, the next time, I think we got to do something where, because I didn't get to watch the playback, but if Dude was recording it, the way he was recording it, then, we definitely got to do something that incorporates the mics, because I think the mic system was with the DJ. It wasn't necessarily feeding through the camera. So, we just got to, and I think this is definitely a starting point, for my guy, Jabbar. And he can definitely, raise the bar after this, man. And no pun intended, right? Fresh bar. But Yeah, man, is a good thing. He obviously has some family there. Network with some people, talk to some people after the fact. You know what I mean? And they enjoyed themselves. So, yeah, definitely a good look for the city. Definitely a good look for Jabbar. And like I said, we just got to keep, when you're called upon to help and to support, man. You got to support your comrades, man. The people that are kind of in this content creation game with you. You know what I mean? Even though we do different things, and yeah, we can, we could brag and we could compete all day, you know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, because I'm still a small entity, you know what I mean? It don't help us to try to fight each other, you know what I'm saying? We need to actually collaborate. So, what I mean? Shout out to some other podcasts that are popping up, man, and I'm just kind of getting in tune to. I see people are making little bit more content. You might see me on some of these platforms, but wanted to shout out to JMC. That's the Journeyman Chronicles podcast, out of Lancaster, with Felix C. Arroyo. And there's another channel that I seen called Necessity TV. It looked like they had some people that I've had on. Well, they had Laddie Moran on, and I thought that was dope. And then I seen another one, Earspace Podcast. Now they look like they veterans. Like it looked like they've been around for a while. I think it's a slightly different lane, but they just Word Wild Wednesday just did some type of like live interview event with them, and shout out to them, man, for doing their thing. I'm always down to collab. I'm always down to expand and do some different things. Yeah, some of these people doing these like in person episodes and things like that. Definitely got me my wheels turning, and got some ideas. Cause yeah, we definitely want to incorporate that as much as we possibly can. That is a process, and I think there sometimes though when you have in person guests, there's a little bit more room for error. I mean, on the Zoom side, and when you do digital stuff, there's definitely the technical errors that can go wrong, but it's a lot of logistics with in person stuff. So I think some people that are like, oh, yo, are you doing this? Are you doing this? And it's like, yeah, we can get there, but sometimes we don't necessarily want to fix what's not broken, so to speak. I mean, there's a lot of, I'm in the YouTube game, and a lot of the biggest YouTube people, they all still have remote guests. I mean, it's not like that's not going nowhere. That's not going nowhere. Yeah, in person guests and stuff like that. That is dope. That's fun. And it definitely, I look better on yeah, I mean, on the camera when there ain't no, I look good on this camera when I'm running it through OBS, and I'm talking like some technical stuff right now, but yeah, and it does with the Zoom kind of reduces it a little bit. I mean, the digital stuff reduces it a little bit, but yeah, the in person, I look real good on camera on that in person, man. So I wouldn't mind. Getting myself more in person episodes and things like that. So what else is up? Just stuff that's coming up, or just new stuff. Yeah, the tank fight. That tank fight is this weekend versus Ryan Garcia. And I had somebody ask me today, man. One of my young boys, he asked me. He was like, "Yo, what? I mean, who you got? Who you got?" And I think I gotta just go with Tank. I gotta go with. But if I was a betting man, I probably would bet on Garcia. Like I'm betting on the underdog. You know what I'm saying? Because I think people are they want to see the chink in Tank's armor. I think if he beats Ryan Garcia, I think it definitely. It, I think he gets a notch. He definitely gets a notch on the belt, and definitely gets a little bit more respect, because a lot of people feel that he's not necessarily fighting the best talent, kind of going the Mayweather route, or fighting people, taking a little bit long time to fight people. But these are two guys in their, I don't even know if they're in their primes yet, but like, yeah, you would say the prime of their career, because they're both fairly young, and you could keep ascending. You know what I'm saying? Especially in boxing, you could ascend for up until your mid 30s. I feel like most guys are pretty prolific and deadly. It's like after the mid 30s, that's when they might take a little dip. You know what I mean? I'm probably gonna go with Tank on this, but if I was a betting man, I probably would put some money on Ryan just to kind of hedge it a little bit. But I think my homie is hosting something. Let me not assume that my homie is holding something or doing something for that event. but I think he is, and I'm definitely down for that. My mom's birthday is coming up, so I gotta do something for her, something nice for her. Take her out to dinner or something like that. And yeah, man, we living. Last new thing, like last, like just general topic type thing that I'm talk about is real quick is the Mario movie. Have y'all seen the Mario movie yet? Have y'all seen it yet? Now, obviously, I think definitely go see that with your kids. It's definitely I'm recommending that you go see that with your kids. So many nostalgia moments in that film, man. So many things that kind of tie you back to childhood. So many things that kind of just tie you to the Mario universe. Now, I'm pro Nintendo. Now, I never got too crazy into all the Mario games though. Like I respect the series. I respect what they've done with Mario. My son though, he plays all the Mario. Like he has a Switch. He's played all the games. His mom has helped him beat some of these games. She be playing the Mario games because that's like she ain't no gamer, but like she'll play some Mario. Like that's that takes her back to a certain time. But yeah, like they've beaten Mario Odyssey, they've beaten Luigi's Mansion, like they played all these different games. And shout out to like I said, I've played Mario Party, Smash Bros, stuff like that, Mario Kart, different games like that. So I definitely respect it. But like I said, I'm not necessarily an avid Mario player. But what I had to say is that it's easy to compare Mario to Sonic because I was a Sega Genesis boy. So when I was growing up though, I was all about Sonic, and you couldn't tell me that Sonic wasn't better than Mario. You know what I mean? And now, obviously, Mario has a deeper story, but Sonic was the one to jump out there. And if you're talking about a platformer game, because like there's only they're not the first. They're not the first like platformer type games to kind of make into movies. Obviously, we have Tomb Raider, we have Resident Evil, right? But in terms of like like throwback systems, a platformer game, I mean Sonic, and then you got Mario. That was the Pepsi versus Coca Cola type of thing back when I was a kid. And what I would say is that Mario did a better job of incorporating the gameplay. You know what I mean? Like there's a scene where he's meeting Peach and he's learning, and she's teaching him what the power up little question mark things are, and what to do, how to jump, and he's like training. He's training to be like who he is, like Mario. And it was just dope because it looked like the game. And even there was an early scene early on. This is before he goes into like that Mario World type deal. Um, it looked like Mario Odyssey, like when you in the city. The way the camera, the way it worked, whatever. It looked like a video game, and it was just dope, man. My favorite scene probably had to be that when he fought Donkey Kong. Now that was like he had to fight Donkey Kong to get Donkey Kong on his team. You know what I mean? Basically, like they was riding, and then like they was riding on basically like they was on like a rainbow road, like on some like Mario Kart type stuff. And they had like the weapons for the Mario, like so they was tying a lot of different elements into this, and I thought it was dope. Chris Pratt is the voice of Mario, but I swear that there were times it did not sound like Chris Pratt. I don't know what that is about. But yeah, man, this series, Mario just has so much potential. Like I said, where the game has gone all these different avenues. Like they're introducing, this is basically introducing Mario from the start, right? Like so him being a plumber, and then like them going back and forth to their I don't know, the mushroom world versus what I mean, the real world. And I thought that was like a cool dynamic because they show his family. We never seen his family, you know what I'm saying, like other than Luigi, we never seen Mario's family. But like they have so many different avenues to go off of because and somebody tell me this in the comment section. So I heard through my cousin. My cousin is a avid movie watcher, and he made a mention on Twitter about a post credit scene because they was talking about Wario, like when they gonna introduce Wario. And I'm mad if I missed that because my son, we went to the theater. And you know what I mean, he was a trooper, you know what I mean? He didn't have to go to the bathroom, but then right after, once the movie ended, he's like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom. And you know, I didn't know. I did notice that people were sitting down, so maybe they knew that there was a post-credit scene coming up, but I did not get to see it because I had to make sure my son was safe in the bathroom. You know what I mean? He's a little guy. You know what I mean? He's old enough to go by himself, but at the same time, public places, you don't want to take no chances. So I had to get out of there when he was ready to go. But if there is a post credit scene, please somebody in the comment section tell me what that was all about. And because I'm thinking they're trying to say that Wario was in there. So yeah, but Mario, like I was saying right before this, it has so many different avenues in which they can go on. Yeah, you got the Wario, you got the Waluigi. You can get into more stuff with Bowser. You got all those different characters from Mario Party that you can get into. You can get deeper into Donkey Kong. There's that other princess, right? Like that, Yoshi. Yoshi is not in there's a bunch of Yoshis or like, little, Yoshi type characters that he that we saw in the movie, but they weren't characters. So like Yoshi, once like they got to incorporate Yoshi into it. So like there's a lot of cool things, man. And like I said, it's definitely worth going to see. And I actually probably would see it again. I probably would see it again if I you know what I mean, if it came on a streaming platform. I'm gonna watch it again. But I'm waiting for what they got next, man. Like this is gonna be, I think this is gonna be the next big movie, kid movie series. You know what I mean? Like we have our Despicable Me's, right? You have your Toy Stories. You have like think about those different things that create a craze. Mario is about to be that next thing, man, and rightfully so, rightfully so. And I'm kind of glad they took a while to make this kind of movie, because yeah, a lot of people are thinking like, and I'm glad they went animated. Sonic, they try to go like the half animated, half real life. Like, nah, man, we don't. I mean, we don't need that. They went illumination. Looking like the video game, and it's lit, man. It's lit. So that is that on just the general BS, man, just general stuff that's going on in the world. But yeah, man, we got a dope episode today, man. We're gonna talk about a little bit of some financial things, man. Like, when it comes to money, when it comes to marriage, when just some do's and don'ts with money. We're gonna find out about a cheat code, a money cheat code when you get married. You know what I'm saying? That has to do with a famous soccer player, man. So we're gonna get into that. We got I don't know, these dog lovers, man. I got some smoke for some dog lovers, especially in this situation. Talk a little bit about Snowfall, and then we got the Love Is Blind finale and reunion. We're gonna recap that, and then yeah, man, that's gonna be our show for this week, man. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, if you're still watching the channel, if you're still watching, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, please. I mean, leave a comment, right? If I'm doing something well, if I'm doing something bad, if I need to step up my game, if you just want to kind of have a conversation with me, man, we welcome all comments. We welcome all smoke, whatever y'all want, man. So let's get into it though, man. So first topic we're gonna talk about is we're gonna talk about some financial infidelity, right? So this is gonna be a video I probably put on with a clip, right? So I seen this video, right, where a guy was sitting there and he was explaining that he had a savings account ever since he was 16 years old, right? So he had a savings account since he was 16, and he's been contributing money to it, like contributing money. So, and this is part where I don't know exactly how old he is, right? I don't know how old he is. But he said that he's been married. I think he's known his wife for 6 years. I think he's known his wife for 6 years, right? And so like he said that they got married and things like that, and he said that when she learned about his savings account at some point in time, that's when stuff got a little bit weird, whatever. And she was excited. She was like, wow, like, what I mean? Like you got all this, you got a lot of money in your savings account, and we're gonna get into that figure in a second. But you got a lot of money in your savings account. I want to learn how to save. I want to save some money. And he was like, all right, bet, right? Now, this is where I think he fucked up, right? So instead of, he should have, this is what I think he should have did. I think he should have created a separate account just for them to put money into it, right? So instead, right, what, they start to save and they start to basically stockpile into his savings account, right? So he said when they started saving together, right, prior to them saving together, he had saved up $223,000. Yes, that's right, right. Basically 225K, right, give or take, right, 223K. He said, yeah, then we're both contributing to it, whatever. We get it up to 250,000, right? So 250, so quarter mil. They get it up to quarter million. Then he says that, one day he looked at the statement and was appalled, was astonished, whatever, because all the money had been taken out, right? And his wife, she used it to pay off her student loans. And when he checked her about it, like, hey babe, like what are you doing? Like, why did you mess with our, like, why did you mess with, why did you take all the money out of the savings account? I don't know if he said my savings account or out of the savings account. And she said, well, it's our money, right? And then he's recapping and he's like, yo, he was like, maybe out of the 250K, he's like, you probably invested maybe 10,000. You maybe invested 10,000 into the 225 or into the 250. And he's like, but she used all of it to pay off her student loans. And then with a straight face, she said that it's our money. And so then he said, which I don't know how this works, but he says that he's garnishing 75% of her paycheck, right? That's like the way she's gonna pay him back, so to speak, whatever. Now I'm gonna call this is like, we're gonna call this financial infidelity, right? So yeah, we're gonna call this financial infidelity because what are the rules for that, man? What are the rules for that? Now, obviously, when, if worst case scenario, right, people get divorced, a woman is maybe, entitled to half your assets, right? Now, if I have assets that I've earned prior to her being with me, that's when, yeah, I think a prenup is in play, right? Like, especially if I got a sum like that, if I got a lump sum of money like that, I think that's something I want to protect, right? Especially because this guy is living his life. I mean, he must be doing something right. You know what I mean? So he don't need to touch that money. So that's like, not, that money don't concern her. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't know about that money. It has nothing to do with it. It's not affecting their relationship. That's his money. That's his money. And he wanted to do something nice, and then I don't know. I think this thought like, oh no, yeah, maybe he thought fruitfully and thought like, all right, this is a savings account, right? This is not our checking account. This is our savings account. So maybe they were trying to get it up to $1 million. Who knows? Who knows? Now, if me and my baby are saving, and we run it up, and I start with 225, and we run it up to $500,000. You know what I'm saying? Then we got something to talk about. We run up to $1 million. Now we got something to talk about. But like, yo, for we run it up, couple grand more. You know what I'm saying? And then 27 grand more, and then you wipe me out. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool. Like, I for whatever reason, like, I don't think you can. You can't. I don't think, even if it is our money, since it's our money, right, you can't make a decision by yourself about that money. Like, if you want your student loans paid from this money, we definitely got to have a conversation about it. Like, point blank, period. Like, it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, we got to have a conversation about it, because if we don't, I'm not going to trust you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to trust you no more. Now, he doing this 75% of her check, garnishing. Like I said, that sounds like a lot more work than that had to be done. But no, I think, like I said, if you actually do, because a lot of people are worried about people taking stuff from them, and they talk about prenups, and it's a lot of regular ass people that don't really got nothing. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, if I got married today, I don't think I wouldn't need a prenup. I don't have nothing that is like Not, you know, a nigga ain't broke, nigga ain't struggling or nothing like that. But I don't have nothing like that that I'm like, yeah, yo, I gotta protect this, whatever. Like, nah, yeah, I mean, we, you know, it is what it is. We gonna take that, take that wild ride. You know what I'm saying? But nah, if I had a quarter, if I had a quarter milli in the bank, man, nah, bro, like nah, you know, you got to consult me, and you know what I mean, you doing that, you cheated on me financially. That's financial infidelity, as far as I'm concerned, man. So who's in the wrong though? Is he an asshole for trying to get his money back in these increments? Was she wrong for taking the money without his permission? Was she wrong for thinking that that money was supposed to be used for stuff like student loans and things like that? You know, what was he saving this money up for? Like, I wonder. And that's the thing. This man got $223,000. Why didn't you invest that, bro? Like think about, oh my God. So this guy, if he was saving since he was 16, he could have definitely, man, he could have been put, if he would have put that on Tesla, my nigga, like, yo, this guy would be loaded. Like loaded. If he would have put that on Google 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Loaded right now. I mean, crazy loaded. You know what I mean, but I don't know, man. What y'all think, man? Please chime in on this topic, because I need to know. I need some answers. I need to know your thoughts, man. So let's switch it up. But staying on marriage, though. Staying on marriage. So there's a Moroccan footballer, right? That's what they call these soccer players, man. They call them footballers. But I just want to look up his name real quick. Moroccan football. Okay. Here we go. His name is Achraf Hakimi. Achraf Hakimi. All right. So he's a Moroccan soccer player, right? And he recently got divorced, right? He recently got divorced with his wife. And you know, obviously, you know, divorce, man. I just said, like, you know, a woman, you get a divorce, a woman is entitled to, you know, half of that money, right? So, you know what I mean, it can be a lot of money. Now he's a soccer player, right? So his wages are probably crazy. Even the worst soccer players, if you're an international soccer player, you're making money. You know what I mean, you're making some good money out there. And so yeah, man, so he's doing his thing, you know what I mean? He gets the divorce. And I think she went, you know, I don't know what the process was, but basically she went to seek half of his assets and found out that he owns nothing. So you're thinking, like, damn, was this guy like bad with his money? What, you know what I mean? Is he a gambling problem? Like, you know what I mean? Is he, you know, making some bad investments? No. He has all the money is in the family, but it don't belong to him. So what this dude did was all of his assets are in his mother's name, right? So this shit belongs to his mom. Technically it belongs to his mom. So the woman, she could not get nothing from him. You know what I mean? She could not get the assets that she was seeking, because they not registered to him. Like everything, his house, I'm assuming he got cars, he probably got investments, everything is in mom's name. You know what I mean? And I was thinking, like, what the hell? Like, you can do that? Like, you can, I didn't even know you could do that. Like, not saying that I didn't know, not that you can't put stuff in your mom's name. I'm not questioning that, right? But I didn't know that could be used as a strategy to help protect you, right? So, you know, forget a prenup, right? Forget that. You know what I mean? Mama knows best. You know what I'm saying? And so we talked about this a little bit at the Fresh Bar Sports Show, because I brought it up. I wanted to have a sports topic, but, you know, something that was kind of relatable that women could talk about. And, you know, the ladies at the show, they were just thinking, like, yeah, no, mom had to know what the deal was. Like, she had to know what the deal was, and moms know best, right? So, man, like, I think if that was, and that's why we do the show sometimes we need to get information out there, you know what I'm saying? But like that, I think that saves a lot of people a lot of hassle if they, you know what I mean, because nobody, prenup just sounds crazy, like, to a lot of people. I think women look at it as, like, they don't look at it for what it is. They don't even look at it as protection for themselves. I think a lot of women, when they hear prenup, they think of distrust. They think like, oh, this man don't trust me. Like, what the hell? Like, what he think? But it's like, no, why not? Why not protect both of ourselves? Just like the idea of, and this is a different topic, but this is another thing where women be like, they feel like it's distrust. Like, if a man, like, because there's a lot of people that feel like paternity, like, tests should be mandatory, like, whenever a birth is happening. And so women be like, they be like, oh, like, or if a man that is with a woman, if he asks for a paternity test, she's gonna be so offended. She's gonna be like, oh, what you think? I'm sleeping around on you? You think I'm doing this? Whoop de whoop de whoop, right? But it's like, no, it should just be mandatory, because it's like, it's protecting both of us, right? It's ensuring that I'm the father. Like, you're the mother, but it's ensuring that I'm the father. I can't get out of this situation, nothing like that. A prenup, it's just ensuring that, like, hey, you come in with what you leave with what you came in with. You know what I mean? But I think the jig is that I think women know that they can get some things out of men. Now, granted, women are bossed up nowadays, so, like, you know what I mean. So I think as women keep bossing up, I think women are gonna start warming up to the idea of a prenup, because it's gonna be like, I mean, why would I want to pay you? You know what I mean? And we have some like, very few cases, but we have some cases where some women have had to pay their men. Think about Britney Spears and her baby dad, Kevin Federline. You think about Mary J. Blige, I guess, and her ex, right? She's paying him some bread. You know what I'm saying? Um, so, like, I don't know. Prenup is not a bad thing, but I did not know that you could kind of use your mom kind of as like a stopgap, or like a safety valve. Now, I don't recommend, like, you gotta vet your mom right now. Not I think there's some moms out here that's a little bit crazy. You know what I mean? If your mom was ever pressing you for rent, you know what I'm saying, or pressing you for this and that, whatever, or, if your mom ever put like a bill in your name when you was a kid, right? Nah, that you don't got the kind of mom that you could do this with, right? Because the thing is, I think if more people start doing it, I think we're gonna start hearing some horror stories about moms that are taking their son's money, whatever. But my mom is solid. My mom is really solid. Like, she never asked for anything. I've never really had to ask her for anything. If I needed this favor, like, hey mom, can I put this in your name? Can I put, just to protect my assets? I think she would be down, and my shit would be solid. Like, it would be protected, whatever. I can't speak for everybody's mom. I can't speak for everybody's mom, but I know my mom will hold me down, and I know, everything gonna be right. So I don't know. It just got my head going. I'm thinking like, like, maybe in the future I might need some type of resource like that, some type of tool like that. But in the meantime, I'm good. I'm good. But yo, your mom knows best. And if it was her idea again, then that just proves. And just one last detail about it. I think the mom might have knew what was going on, because when they got married, he was only 19 years old and she was 31 years old. So I think maybe the mom was trying to protect him. I think if it's two people of the same age, I don't know if the mom is gonna come up with the idea like that, or even want to interject. You know what I mean? However, again, for those men out there that the only reason they don't want to get married is a prenup type situation or losing assets, yo, man, put stuff in your mom's name. Have y'all niggas do that already. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of dudes don't got credit. You know what I mean? Some of these entrepreneurs, they ain't got, they doing good, but like on certain ends of it, like maybe like they might have good cash flow, but on the credit side of things, they ain't really doing too well. So y'all already doing half of that stuff anyway. So keep it in the family and protect yourself, man. So that was interesting. But what y'all think about that, man? What y'all think about that? Did you know that you could do that? I mean, would you ever do that, ladies? Would you feel offended if you found out, after a divorce, that you couldn't get nothing because everything was in his mom's name? You know what I'm saying? or are you going to try to seek assets and resources from the mom because you know what I mean of that situation. All right, so that's that on that. Let me switch it up here real quick, man. So I seen this video. Well, I seen a little video and little meme or something that kind of went with it, and it was talking about how a dog mauls and attacks a kid, but then the owners chose to keep the dog, and they said that it was like in the little message on the little caption it said oh, after 10 days of pondering the idea or considering the idea, we felt that everybody makes mistakes, whatever. So, and they show a little girl and she got like crazy scars on her face and things like that. um and just, and I guess this actually happened several years ago, but like for whatever reason it's like TikTok famous right now. It's TikTok popular right now. So here's the thing. I'm not really a pet person anymore. That don't mean I don't like I don't dislike dogs or anything like that. I don't dislike animals. You know what I mean? I'm not an animal. I don't support animal cruelty. I don't think you should treat animals badly. But I'm not a pet person anymore at this point in my life. So I like them overall, but I don't like being responsible for no animals, right? When I hear this, a situation like this, to me it's a no brainer. If you bite my small child, right, I think the kid was 3 at the time. If my dog bites my small child in the face, that dog got to find another place to live. Like we got to find another place for this dog to live. Like you can't stay here no more because the dog doesn't know. Like they might kind of know that they did something wrong, but they don't know. They don't really know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you play with your kids, man. But my thing is just with these dog people, these pet people, especially the ones that value animals over human life. Like, what is wrong with y'all, man? Like, what is really wrong with y'all? Because like and to say we all make mistakes, the dog is not human though. The dog is not human. Dogs can be trained. You know what I mean? Now there were some details of saying that the dog was sick and that maybe the little girl was like kind of just as a little kid being 3, they don't know, they're climbing on the dog, pulling on the dog, and then the dog got mad and bit the kid. But at that point, though, it's like if I have to have like safety parameters like that in place, and I gotta do all this extra type of stuff, then it's not worth it, man. It's not worth having the pet. And then it was saying something about how there was a clip or something like that, or she posted a couple videos or stories or whatever, and it was saying something about how like her and her husband got divorced because of this dispute. So the husband was on board. Like he's probably on my page where it's like, no, we got to get rid of the dog. We can't take any chances. Not only are you worried about the dog doing it again, but I'm worried about my child being afraid of my dog now, right? Like I don't want that. I don't want my child to be traumatized by animals now for the rest of her life, and then almost feel terrorized, you know what I mean, by the dog that's supposed to be her pet, right? So I don't so apparently they was asking like does she regret, I think she was being smart, whatever, and like, do you regret getting a divorce or not giving up your dog and getting divorced? And she was like, nope, like she didn't regret it. So again, this is like these people that value animal life more than human life. Like something is really wrong with y'all. Like y'all got a complex, y'all got some issues, y'all special. But like we don't do that around here, man. We value human life over animals all day, all day. I don't want nothing bad to happen to animals, not at all. I don't support nothing like that, whatever. But we're not about to put our kids in danger all for the sake of having a pet. Especially when like a pet, man, bro, you go on vacation, you know what I mean? Somebody gotta watch your pet. I'm learning, and this I didn't even know this was like frowned upon, but like I grew up and we had some big dogs. That our dogs stayed outside. Like, you know what I mean? Now if it was bad inclement weather, they could stay in the basement, you know what I mean? And we had one of them, nasty basements. Like not nasty that the dog can't inhabit it, but like it's not a finished basement. So like if it wants to poop, you know what I mean, down there we got a little area, whatever, boom boom, it's easy. It's, you know what I mean, it's not carpet or nothing down there. We just, shoveling that up, take it out, whatever. But like, yo, there's people that got big ass dogs that be having them on their couches. They be having dogs on the beds. They be having dogs in the kitchen while they cooking. Like, yo, no, no, like a little dog can be in your house, but even a little dog, you're not allowed on the couch. Like point blank, you're not allowed on the couch. You're not allowed on the bed. Like we gonna create some parameters for you. We're gonna create a little, bed for you and things like that. But are you allowed to be on our furniture, the human furniture? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and like I said, I didn't know that it was frowned upon, but like, yeah, I thought some dogs were outside dogs. I mean, but I'm learning that like no, dogs aren't supposed to be outside, and obviously just from some dog lovers. And again, if we want to ask, who these people were, or I mean, the demographic of these people, I'm gonna let y'all guess. I'm not even gonna comment on that. I'm gonna let y'all guess what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds about par for the course. I would say that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna keep it there. You know what I'm saying? And then so let's switch it up, man. But what y'all think about that though? Yeah, real quick comment. You know what I mean below. What y'all think about the dogs? The situation with dogs. Do you guys own pets? And if your pet attacked your small child, does the pet gotta go, or does the pet get multiple chances? Do they get a second chance? I don't know. I'm not for it. And we're gonna move on from that, man. So, yeah, man. So last part of this show, man, we're gonna get into a couple recaps. I said we're gonna talk a little bit about Snowfall. I made a standalone video, and I only took clips from it, and I did talk a little bit about Snowfall. Then we're gonna try to make sure this gets out so we can at least, you know what I mean? I don't know. I guess this will be a good preview for what's to come on Snowfall. But we'll see. But where we're at, we just had the penultimate episode, because if I'm not mistaken, Snowfall season 6 is only 10 episodes. Let me just do it. Snowfall season 6. How many episodes? I think it's only 10, because it's been 10. Okay, yeah, 10. So we just had the penultimate episode, right? Episode 9 of Snowfall. And I kind of, episode 8, it was looking up for him. He was, what I mean, they have Teddy in custody. They have him locked up. They have him kind of dead to rights. And so this next episode, it's like, all right, so what's Franklin gonna do? What's he gonna do now that he got Teddy? Whatever, how's he gonna get this money now? And shout out to Chef Targaryen on Twitter, man. He's a guy. He showed up on Recap and Record podcast with me and Levi. Last at the end of last year when House of the Dragon was out, and so I see him on Twitter, and he was like, this is what he said. He was like, yo, for all my Snowfall fans out there was no way that that Franklin was ever seeing that money, right? So he seen that, and then he said that, so I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch this episode. And I felt that way though. Like prior to even seeing that episode, I felt like, yo, it ain't Franklin not about to go off into the sunset. Like, I don't know what y'all think this is. Like, y'all, this is not no fairy tale, man. This is a street hood story. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, it don't matter. Like, it goes against natural convention, right? Like, if he rides off to the sunset, that in some ways it creates a message that it's okay to do what he's been doing, whatever. But no, because he's the protagonist, but he's an anti-protagonist, right? So he doesn't get a happy ending. Like he doesn't. Like I don't know why y'all think that's what's about to happen. None of them do. None of the kingpins get a happy ending, right? So, this episode, he's going through all these different methods to try to get Teddy to talk. This dude poured hot grease on this dude. I think that was the worst thing. Like, I mean, they were trying to figure out how they were gonna get him to talk, and things like that. And yeah, so he got him to the point where Teddy is like looking at him, calling him an animal and things like that, whatever. Which the hot grease, I didn't. Oh man, that just seemed crazy. You know what I mean? Like we hear about throwing hot grease on somebody, but to like for somebody to deliberately pour it on you, that's next level evil, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And Teddy concurred, man. So, but my thing was how the episode ended, man. Yo, if I'm Franklin, I don't know. So one, it looked crazy because even when he's walking with Ted, like anytime these shows have like a hostage exchange or something like that, I'm thinking like, yo, bro, this shit is not gonna work in your favor. Like it's not gonna. And so the way he's walking in public and he's gonna meet the guy that's supposed to take Teddy, right? And it's the guy that he's been kind of talking to. And you're thinking, and I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, yo, this guy, like, it's a setup. Like, once he gets this money, or whatever happens, whatever, I mean, he's gonna be surrounded by the feds. Like, it's no way he's leaving with this money. So he ends up somehow he agreed because Teddy doesn't want to give him all the money. So he's like, yeah, I'll give you like we'll split it. So 37.5 million, because it's $70 million, $75 million up for grabs, right? And so Teddy's like, all right, we'll split it. So then they make this deal, right? This pact. And so $37 million is on the line, and Franklin is willing to do anything. He's desperate. He's desperate at this point. Motherfucker goes out in public, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know why, but like I don't know. I'm not taking my mom with me. Like I'm just not. I know Sissy has been involved in all this type of stuff, but I'm not taking my mom's with me because not even for what's about to happen, but because why? Like if I wouldn't want both of us to get locked up. Like if in the case where this is a setup, I wouldn't want both of us to get locked up. I wouldn't want both of us to get hurt. You know what I mean? But for whatever reason, you know what I mean? For whatever reason, this guy feels like he had all the leverage in the world and nothing was going to happen to him, whatever. And for the most part, he was right until the very end, right? So he makes Teddy get on the phone. Like, so he got this motherfucker handcuffed, right? So he makes Teddy get on the phone and try to do this wire transfer. And Sissy ends up asking him a question, like basically she wants to know what jail, because this guy told her that her husband was actually still alive in Puerto Rico. And so flippantly, such an asshole he is like, what the fuck he's like, he's dead. I shot him twice. Like you thought I was playing, whatever. And that sent her off the rails. And she shoots at right before he's about to give the password to make this bank transfer or this escrow transfer. She shoots him dead, and Franklin is hollering at the top of his lungs, hysterical. He's like, no, 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 like he's bawling. I mean, his mom gives herself up. You know what I mean? Franklin got to get out of there. He has to leave the scene, and Franklin don't get that money, right? So my thing is like, where the hell do they think they about to take this finale? Like is Franklin? Are they gonna Are they fast forward in time or something? Because Franklin right now, he's gonna be a shell of himself. You know what I mean? If they taking the Franklin that we just saw that didn't get that $37 million because his mom killed the guy, the one person that can make this happen for him. Once we seen that, it's like what kind of Franklin are we expecting to see? That's why I said he ain't riding out to the sunset. This guy is gonna be a shell of himself. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's about to start killing everybody. I don't even know, man. I don't even know what's about to happen. I think he's about to have I think what's gonna happen possibly, he's gonna have some type of showdown with Aunt Louie. She don't trust him because I mean the DEA got kind of wind, whatever, and she thinks it was. I think he's kind of involved in it, but like he it wasn't his fault, whatever. Like those things were already, those trains were already, those were already have already left the station, and it was getting into that, whatever. So I don't know, man. But I can't imagine anything good happening from this series finale. So and that's sad to say because it was such a great show. But like I mean, he might just go out in a blaze of glory and just try to shoot everybody and do whatever he got to do to survive. But in terms of like, it's definitely not gonna be happy without that money. And we already see that that's all he cares about is the money. there's no happy ending in sight, man. There's no happy ending in sight. So that is that, man, on Snowfall. And then last thing, man, last topic, last little segment that we're gonna get into in terms of recaps and stuff is Love is Blind, man. Love is Blind. So Love is Blind had a finale last week, and then they did something brand new that they've never done on this show. Now, this is not the first time Netflix has had a live event. Chris Rock's special was a live event, which I never talked about that. The first 10 minutes of that special is trash, but we gonna get into that another time. So we've seen Netflix do some live stuff, right? But it's very rare, so they were hyped up, whatever they want to do this reunion. So before we get into that, no, I will get into that first. We'll start with that. Overall, the reunion was light. The reunion was light work. It was not enough drama. The most intense part of the reunion was the fact that there was a live play delay, right? So I remember my shorty. We knew that it was gonna start at 8 o'clock. And my shorty was like, anticipating it. But I told her, I said, well, it's okay if we miss it. I said, because you can always rewind it, right? So she wasn't pressed. She wasn't pressed to get home at 8, whatever. So, we end up rolling into the crib around like 9 o'clock. And so like we getting all set up, ready to rewind it. So what I did was I hit, so they give you two options. You could watch live or play from the beginning. So I play it from the beginning, right? And it's like it's just like, oh, we're gonna be starting soon or whatever. It's like a message, on the screen. So all right, I fast forward like a couple minutes. All right, it's still the same message. Couple minutes, still the same message. Couple minutes. I'm like, dang, what the heck? What the heck? So something in me, I said, you know what? I'm gonna play it live, and then I'm gonna play whatever it says play live, and then I'm gonna rewind, right? So I do that, and then like you can kind of see when you rewind, right? You can see like how many minutes have gone by. Yo, the live show didn't start until almost like pretty much like an hour later. Like it didn't start for like almost a full hour. Maybe it was 50 minutes because it was like at the 50-minute mark. It was close to an hour because I feel like I had to even go past the 50-minute mark and there was still no show. But like let's just say an hour. It took an hour for this show to even get started, whatever. So, we're obviously when we're watching it and we're seeing it, it's delayed to an extent. It's not quite live because we didn't want to miss any parts, whatever. So yeah, but it took that live event, as much as Netflix was trying to market that and press that, that was definitely a fail, and that was probably the most intense part of the whole reunion. So in terms of so what we'll do is with Love Is Blind, we'll talk about the couples that were successful. We'll start with the successful couples. Then we'll talk about the failed couples, and really it's only one couple, but we'll touch in on Marshall, Jackie, and Josh, whatever. So, three of the couples ended up in marriage. So, overall, there was supposed to be 5 couples, like possibly getting married, right? We know that Marshall, Jackie, they end up kind of dropping out at the, after the fact, after the honeymoon phase, they kind of dropped out right before the wedding, right before the fittings and all that, right? Drops out. So and then we have that we did have a failed marriage, and then we do failed proposal, failed marriage, failed nuptials, but we do have 3 winners, so to speak. All right, and so we're gonna start with the first couple, and probably the couple that was probably the most guaranteed. Right, there wasn't the first one that they depicted, but the one that we knew for sure, and it was Brett and Tiffany. So guaranteed lock. Best relationship of that show, and this is what I would say. I would say that of all the weddings that I've seen on this show from all the seasons, that was the happiest that was the happiest I've seen everybody. Like, obviously people are happy for their friends, but it seemed like it was so infectious and so genuine how much love was in that room for these two people, and it was amazing. It was beautiful to look at. Always going to salute to give a shout out to Black Love. It's always a beautiful thing. The only thing this is where I don't like though. So the producers, they try to play some camera tricks, and prior to the finale, there was episodes that made it seem like, Brett was having second guesses. Like, he's like, this is not supposed to be happening. Well, we didn't know that Brett was a groomzilla. Like, I never seen a groomzilla before, but yeah, this dude groomzilla. You know what I'm saying? Bougie Brett, you know what I mean? He ain't like how his pants was hemmed up, whatever, you know what I mean? How they were taken in and tailored. So he had emergency tailor session and got his pants fixed. But it was a whole like dilemma. But they made it seem like it might impact the wedding, but it did not. So they're locked, you know what I mean? Shout out to them for doing what they gotta do. Then the next couple, we got Kwame and Chelsea. Now, I'm not totally convinced about them because there were just so many moments where it looked like Kwame wasn't really feeling Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? However, the whole reunion, they were basically trying to tell us and convince the audience that no, the show was kind of pushing a narrative that didn't really fit with the reality of what they had going on. Now, I was surprised that Kwame said yes. You know what I mean? Like, when, it seemed like he was on the fence about it. He seemed like he was hell bent on having his mom's approval. So, you know what I mean? Like, he was acting like it wasn't going to happen if his mom didn't approve. I think he faked a couple conversations with his mom. Like, I don't think he talked to his mom for real. That's neither here nor there. But he said yes. And like I said, they're talking a good game, that they're happy, that he knew that he wanted to be with her, that, X, Y, and Z. But it didn't seem like his body language didn't read off that he was happy. But they said they're happy. They said they living their best life, and you know what I mean, shout out to them. You know what I mean, ain't gonna question it too much. You know what I'm saying? They said that everything good at home. You know what I mean? And then the last successful couple we had, probably the most boring couple, so I didn't want to start off with them, is Zach and Bliss. Zach actually looks like a human when he has facial hair, and this, some brothers need facial hair. Now, people that know me know that I've had a beard all my adulthood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started from the bottom. You know what I mean? I don't need a beard though. I love my beard, right? And I can't see myself ever shaving my shit off, whatever. But I'm not one of them dudes. I would look handsome regardless. You know what I'm saying? But the facial hair is where it's at. But some people, man, they need facial hair because they whole structure just don't. It look crazy without it. And we didn't even know that. I didn't even know he looked like kind of normal with the facial hair. But yeah, Bull at the reunion had the beard. I mean, they seem to be happy, and that one wasn't. I wasn't really worried about either one of them saying no or anything like that. But yeah, they got it done, and I one thing I learned though was because I was so curious about Bliss and like what was her ethnicity, where did she come from, what's her nationality, and I seen a video and it said she's Persian, black, Mexican, and white, right? And I would think that her dad is probably Persian and white, and her mom is black and Mexican. Cause she looks so ambiguous. Like, she just looks so ambiguous. Shout out to him, man, getting that that multicultural girl. She's definitely the prize, and in terms of appearance, she's definitely the prize of the relationship. But it seemed like he's a good dude though. He don't seem like a bad guy. But yeah, that's that with them. And then talk about a couple failed couples. So this one, oh my god, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't like Misery. Misery does look company, right? And I don't want to say I was praying for her downfall, but I wasn't sad for her when she got turned down. So Paul and Micah, right? Because I don't like how she moves, man. She's done a couple things in the show that made me just look at her like, nah. See, Micah the manipulator, right? I think, and we saw some of her tactics in this episode, in the finale, where I feel like she's just a master manipulator. Like, she cannot think for herself, right? Her friends do a lot of the thinking for her, right? And she's the type that she's gonna make the decision based on what her friends say. And the friends were not on board with Paul, right? Especially the girl Shelby, right? The one friend, because she was celebrating when it didn't go through. She was like, it went exactly how I hoped it would go. So obviously she got friends that are haters. But Micah, she pulled this move where they're at the altar and they're asking her, you know what I mean, does she want to give, will she say I do and things like that? And what does she do? She says, no, no, what I'm gonna do is I want him to give me the answer first, whatever. And almost like I think it's weird. I think it's manipulation because I think she wanted to look like the victim, but I don't think she was 100% gonna pick Paul. I was not convinced that she was 100% gonna go with it because of her friend influence. Right, her friend was talking shit about the boy the whole time. Didn't even want to stop and get to really know Paul, but she just had these preconceived notions, whatever. So I don't think she didn't want to look like the bad guy. So that's why she said no. And or that's why she didn't say anything and she let him say it and like basically let him be the martyr. And he just basically said, one thing, and this came out in the reunion, was that he said it though, but he was just saying like, yeah, like there was just certain aspects of her that did not seem motherly. You know what I mean? Like she didn't really seem like a mother figure. Like like maybe that she would hold it down. I don't know. And everybody thought that was like the most offensive thing he could ever say to her. But you know what I mean? A spade is a spade, man. Sometimes it's like that, man. Sometimes it's like that. It's like, yeah, I mean, not every, especially if you out here, hot girl summering, or you know what I mean, think you a city girl just out here for the streets. Men are not gonna look at you like you could be a mom. Like that's just point blank period. Like think about how you live your life, right? And what you reflect. And you know what I mean? We couldn't see their whole relationship because on camera we don't see the off camera stuff, whatever. But like for a man to say that, that means that he's seen enough. He's seen enough of a sample size to be like, nah, she can't be a mom, because there be times where you might even be in the pussy, you know what I'm saying, and you doing stuff you ain't supposed to be doing, and you looking at that girl like, damn, yo, she could be the mother of my kids, you know what I mean? And just because like you've seen a sample size, you've seen enough, and then you think about like how good it is while you in there, you know what I'm saying? And you like, yo, this girl she could be my baby mom, man. She could be my wife. She could be, I could raise a family with this woman. I could get used to this. I could do this every day. There was something about her that made him think like, nah, Nizal, like I ain't with it, whatever. So, that was that. You had the friend Shelby who was a hater. You know what I'm saying? She was celebrating it. She didn't like Paul from day one. She's one of them friends that like to see her friends unhappy and single like her. Like I can't imagine anybody actually dating Shelby. You know what I'm saying? Like she just seems like a rotten person. So, um, and the last thing I'm gonna say about a friend was, and my shorty, she said that she was like, oh, I don't want, oh, I seen something, I seen the outcome, whatever, and then she was like hype about it, whatever. So I'm like, okay. And then so we're watching it, and she's like, hell, she's like, oh wait, and then well, the friend was laughing and celebrating, and I was like, oh, is that the tea? Because she was like, oh, there's tea, watch, like that wait, just you wait. So then there's a scene where Paul is like, it's like basically he's leaving the wedding party, you know what I'm saying? He tries to go comfort Micah. She tells him no, like you don't need to be here, you need to go, whatever. So he dips off. And as he's scooting past like a bunch of women, whatever, he he taps her to kind of like say, oh, excuse me. Like it wasn't even like, or he might even shoved her a little bit and like he kind of touched like just this, oh, I'm sorry, and go out the door. So we rewound that part a couple times, and she was like, "Yeah, look, he touched her butt, like he grabbed her butt." And I said, and then she was like, and she was so adamant on it. She was like, "Yeah, the tea is that he was fucking one of her friends," and I was like, "Bro, are you kidding? Like, are you serious right now? You think Paul, like this awkward ass dude, scientist ass dude, don't know how to really speak to nobody? You think that he got enough game that he about to smash one of her best friends, and then not only that, not only smash one of the best friends on the low, but to touch her butt on camera, you know what I mean, or even the possibility that moment could be captured, like that's what y'all want to play back, whatever. And I, from the rip, I was like, nah. I was like, that's the tea, that's the smoking gun. I was like, that don't look like nothing to me. It didn't look like he was touching her butt. Now she did, like, she kind of like and smiled, whatever. But I think it was because she was shocked that he even kind of like nudged her, whatever, or maybe that, she was in the way, or maybe it was even a nervous smile because she's right next to the guy that dumped her friend, whatever, you know what I mean? But I didn't think no deeper thing. I didn't think no, like, oh, she was like, happy and giddy because, he grabbed her butt, whatever. And so they brought it up in the finale and they cleared the air. And because the thing is, they would have honed in on it. If it was real, Micah would have been like, yeah, you been fucking my friend. And like, I feel like that would have went off, but that did not go off. That did not go off. So it was all, so that's the thing, man. Y'all gotta stop watching so much TikTok, man. Some people, all these TikTok investigators ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all get too invested in sometimes the short form content, not realizing, like, nah, you need to watch the whole thing. But everybody gonna have their theories, you know what I mean? But I just knew that shit was bogus, you know what I mean? And I was right. It was bogus. And then the last little tidbit, last little couple got Marshall, Jackie, and Josh. So we know that Marshall and Jackie did not make it to the altar. And we know that she was kind of talking to Josh, whatever. Now, I do, this is where I'll shoot her some bail, is that people made it look like she possibly saw, instead of going to her wedding fitting or her dress fitting, that she was with Josh instead. And I just had a feeling that wasn't the case either, because I even went back to those 2 episodes and I was like, no, her hair is different. Her hair is completely different. I don't think it was the same day. And also I know about reality TV because of my man Mercedes Knox. Shout out to my man F Boy Island season 2 winner. I know just from having my conversation with him, is that they do so much as to like manipulate time always. They always manipulate time, and they pull things to make it seem like it's happening at a certain time period when it could have happened way before. It could be something that happened way after the fact. But like, I just knew that wasn't the case. But she and Josh are in a relationship. They're not talking about getting married quite yet, but they seem like they're together. Obviously, he was more of her type because of maybe just his mannerisms and style. But it is what it is. I expected Marshall to kind of, because Jackie wasn't at the reunion, so she did a recording with like Vanessa Lachey, like the day before, and they were just answering some canned, some scripted questions. And they didn't really come at Marshall all like that. I thought we were gonna, as an audience, I thought we were gonna get a little bit more closure with Marshall, and like him wanting to come at Jackie a little bit more. But like, no, he kept it pretty professional and pretty PG. Like, he wasn't out for blood, you know what I'm saying? But that's not what I expected. I expected him to kind of like lash out and be like, nah, that's crazy, I mean, she did X, Y, and Z. But he didn't do none of that. So what do y'all think, man? What y'all think about the reunion? What y'all think about Love Is Blind? Did y'all watch it? Did y'all enjoy it? How did you feel about this season? I thought this season, like I said, overall, I think the season was good. The finale and everything like that were kind of very elementary and very PG and really G-rated. It wasn't nothing that was like really too crazy. And they put Irina on there, and they trying to like have her on there talking. I didn't really care what anything that Irina was trying to say. She was trying to backpedal a couple of her comments, but it is what it is. The comments and people were coming at Vanessa Lachey. They think that she gets a little bit too involved. I would have to agree with that. I'm not really a fan. From season 2, I was not a fan, because the way she kind of the way she was pressing Shake, and like and even in this episode, this reunion, she said a lot of leading things like to Micah, but like not letting her answer her own questions. I mean, so I ain't like that, but it is what it is, man. But if y'all enjoyed it, shoot a comment below, man. Tell me what your favorite part of season 4 of Love Is Blind was. If you've seen Snowfall, man, if you're keeping up with that, what do you think is gonna happen on the finale? Dogs, man, how y'all feel about dog owners and them biting your family members, biting your kids? Do you keep a dog, or is it time for the dog to go after something like that? What else we talked about? We talked about Mama Knows Best with the Moroccan soccer player, man. Talked about financial infidelity, and then the Mario movie, man. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go check that out. But yeah, man, this is if you're still here with me, you're still rocking, man. This is another episode of 280 Plus Podcast. We moving and shaking, man. We got some guests coming up. Like I said, I don't have anything set in stone lined up, but we're gonna have some familiar face. I know we're gonna have some familiar faces to the platform, and obviously some new faces. Steady trying to elevate the content. Steady trying to keep the conversation. But yeah, man, if y'all rocking out with me, man, like I said, man, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It's your boy Los Def, man. This is another episode of 280 Plus, y'all. I'm out. Peace.